All right, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It's Nigel once again, and welcome back to the Labyrinth. So, we of course are continuing our reading of Hamlet. So, last time as we were reading Hamlet, some stuff went down. Some stuff went down. Hamlet put on the play, and King Claudius, his guilt was very laid bare for all to see. Hamlet accidentally killed Polonius, who was spying on who was spying on the a conversation between Hamlet and his mother, or afterwards, and Hamlet it's seeking to still seeking his revenge against his uncle Claudius for killing his father, or and seems like for the time being is being shipped off to England. And Hamlet's madness, at least according to his mom and now stepdad slash uncle. That's a weird family dynamic. Essentially now, the madness has gone too far with Hamlet, so shipping him off to England. So, how things unfold, let's find out as we jump into Act 4 here. So, a couple things before we begin. For starters, of course, if this is your first episode of Nigel Dixie Steps from the Labyrinth, welcome. If not, welcome back. But, of course, if you are new here, normally we do read poetry, but from time to time we delve into stories, just like this one. The other thing is that this is courtesy of the Folger Shakespeare Library, as you can see here, or where they have the entire Hamlet play. Hey, you can read the entire play here, or you can go act and scene by act and scene. So they are linked in the description. So definitely check them out. The entire play is linked in the description. So if you want to read the play on your own time, if you want to open it up and follow along with me as we read, you'd definitely feel free to do so. Or if you want to do neither, that is totally fine with me as well. But nevertheless, that's without further ado, let's get right into it. So, starting with scene 1 here. Now, Act 4 here does have 7 scenes, which does sound like a lot, but as you can see, for example, with these ones, as how it is kind of with the majority of scenes, not very long. So kind of the inverse of what happened last time. If you remember her it was Act 2, who not last time, but time before that, it was Act 2, who where where there were only 2 scenes, but they were both very long. Not the case with Act 4 here. Act 4 is the inverse, where there are a number of scenes, but the majority of them, with a couple exceptions, are relatively short. The rest are kind of not super long, but at least like normal sized. But nevertheless, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, of course, we're gonna read the text first, and I of course read like the cues and everything for who enters and exits on and off stage. But then I go through the text so you're able to follow along. So I do have it on the screen here, so you are able to follow along, or as I mentioned, you can follow along with the link in the description to the entire play. However you want to do it. So without further ado, even though we had even more ado, without further ado, with no more dilly dallying, let's get right into it. So, enter King and Queen with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. There's matter in these sighs, these profound heaves. You must translate. 'Tis fit we understand them. Where is your son? Bestow his place on us a little while. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern exit. Ah, mine own lord, what have I seen tonight? What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet? Mad as the sea and wind when both contend, which is the mightier, in his lawless fit, behind the arras hearing something stir, whips out his rapier, cries, a rat, and in his brainish apprehension kills the unseen good old man. Oh, heavy deed! It had been so with us, had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us, whose providence should have kept short, restrained, and out of haunt, this mad young man. But so much was our love, we would not understand what was most fit. But, like the owner of a foul disease, to keep it from divulging, let it feed, even on the pith of life. Where is he gone? To draw apart the body he hath killed, or whom his very madness, like some ore, among a mineral of metal's base, shows itself pure. He weeps for what is done. O Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence, and this vile deed we must with all our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Ho, Guildenstern! Enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Friends, both, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you, hasten this. And Rosencrantz and Guildenstern exit. Come, Gertrude, we'll call up our wisest friends, and let them know both what we mean to do, and what's untimely done. Whose whisper o'er in the world's diameter, as level as the cannon to his blank, transports his poisoned shots, may miss our name, and hit the woundless air. Oh, come away, my soul is full of discord and dismay. And they exit. We are going to get into the synopsis, but right off the bat, what was the point of bringing Guildenstern and Rosencrantz in if you weren't going to give them any lines? I mean, I know why they're there, but man, and not even going to give them any lines. I think that's the first time it's happened where a character has come in on the stage. Obviously with the stage cues, because it's a stage play, this is what's going on the stage. I think this might be the first time in any of the Shakespeare readings that we've done so far where a character has been there but hasn't been given any lines. But anyway, so the synopsis here is that Gertrude reports Polonius' death to Claudius, who sends Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to find Hamlet and recover the body. So essentially, he, getting the body out of there, transporting it over the body of Polonius, that is. So now let's move into scene 2. Enter Hamlet. Safely stowed. Hamlet, Lord Hamlet. But soft, what noise? Who calls on Hamlet? Oh, here they come. Enter Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and others. What have you done, my lord, with the dead body? Compounded it with dust, whereto 'tis kin. Tell us where 'tis, that we may take it thence, and bear it to the chapel. Do not believe it. Believe what? That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge, what replication should be made by the son of a king? Take you me for a sponge, my lord? Aye, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities, but such officers do the king best service in the end. He keeps them like an ape, an apple in the corner of his jaw, first mouthed, to be last swallowed. When he needs what you have gleaned, is but squeezing you, and, sponge, you shall be dried again. I understand you not, my lord. I am glad of it. A knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear. My lord, you must tell us where the body is, and go with us to the king. The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing. A thing, my lord? Of nothing. Bring me to him. Hide fox, and all after. And the exit. So, pretty much the synopsis here is that Hamlet refuses to tell Rosencrantz and Guildenstern where he has put Polonius' body. Hamlet, I get your vendetta and everything, and I get, getting your revenge against your uncle, but at least tell him where the body is, man. Like, what's the point in hiding the body? But I guess maybe in retaliation to Rosencrantz and Guildenstern now fully doing Claudius's billing, they essentially Rosencrantz and Guildenstern we kind of saw in the in the previous scenes. They first started off as oh, we're Hamlet's friends, oh, we're being brought in by Claudius, but now they've pretty much become almost full on stooges for Claudius. They've pretty much gone full Uso, well, more so Jim Uso and Solo Sokoa. But anyway, now moving into scene 3. Enter King and 2 or 3. So I met 2 or 3 people. I have sent to seek him and to find the body. How dangerous is it that this man goes loose? Yet must not we put the strong law on him? He's loved of the distracted multitude, who like not in their judgment, but their eyes. And where 'tis so, the offender's scourge is weighed, but never the offense. To bear all smooth and even, this sudden sending him away must seem deliberate pause. Diseases desperate grown, by desperate appliance are relieved, or not at all. Excuse me. Enter Rosencrantz. How now? What hath befallen? Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him. But where is he? Without, oh, my lord, guarded to know your pleasure. Bring him before us. Ho! Bring in the lord. They answer with Hamlet. Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius? At supper. At supper where? Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are eaten at him. Your worm is your only he emperor for diet. He fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Her fat king and your lean beggar is but variable service. Two dishes, but to one table. That's the end. Alas, alas! A man may fish with the worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of the fish that hath fed of that worm. What dost thou mean by this? Nothing but to show you how a king may go of progress through the guts of a beggar. Where is Polonius? In heaven, send thither to the sea. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But if, indeed, you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby. Go, seek him there. He will stay till you come. And the attendants exit. Hamlet, this deed, for thine especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly grieve, for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready, and the wind at help. The associates tend, and everything is bent, for England. For England? Ay, Hamlet. Good. So is it, if thou knewest our purposes. I see a cherub that sees them, but come, for England. Farewell, dear mother. Thy loving father, Hamlet. My mother, father and mother is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh. And so, my mother, come for England. And he exits. Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed aboard. Delay it not. I'll have him hence tonight. Away, for everything is sealed and done. That else leans on the affair. Pray you, make haste. And all but the king exit. And, England, if my love thou holdest at aught, as my great power thereof may give thee sense, since yet like I sit cicatrice, I think that might be how it's pronounced. Since yet thy cicatrice, I think that's how it's pronounced. Yeah. Since yet thy cicatrice looks raw and red, after the Danish sword, and thy free awe pays homage to us. Thou mayest not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full, by letters configuring to that effect, or congruing to that effect. Ooh, my goodness, I totally butchered that. By letters congruing to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England. For like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me, till I know 'tis done. However my haps, my joys will never begin. And he exits. So, the synopsis here is that Hamlet is brought to Claudius, who tells him that he is to leave immediately for England. Alone, Claudius reveals that he is sending Hamlet to his death. So, Claudius pretty much like having enough of Hamlet saying, just get out of here, or like, hey, after having killed Polonius and everything, and Claudius is just like, hey, yeah, just get out of here. Just sending Hamlet off to England, telling him to board. Hamlet's like, all right, cool, I'm going to England, and he got in one little fight, and his king got scared. He said, you're moving with your auntie and uncle to England. And I'm sorry, that was cringy, but yeah, but apparently he's sending Hamlet to his death within England. And so, will Hamlet meet his demise is in England? We will find out as we move into Scene 4. We're already in Act 4, but Scene 4. Enter Fortinbras with his army over the stage. Go, Captain. From me greet the Danish king. Tell him that by his license Fortinbras craves the conveyance of a promised march over his kingdom. You know the rendezvous. If that his majesty would aught with us, we shall express our duty in his eye, and let him know so. I will do it, my lord. Go softly on. And all but the captain exit, and then enter Hamlet, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and others. Good sir, whose powers are these? They are of Norway, sir. How purpose, sir, I pray you, against some part of Poland? Who commands them, sir? The nephew to old Norway, Fortinbras. Goes it against the main of Poland, sir? Or for some frontier? Truly to speak, and with no addition, we go to gain a little patch of ground that hath in it no profit but the name, to pay 5 ducats. 5, I would not farm it, nor will it yield to Norway or the Pole a ranker rate, should it be sold in fee. Why then, the Polak never will defend it. Yes, it is already garrisoned. 2,000 souls and 20,000 ducats will not debate the question of the straw. This is the impostum of much wealth and peace, that inward breaks and shows no cause without. Why the man dies, I humbly thank you, sir. God be with you, sir. And he exits. Will it please you go, my lord? I'll be with you straight. Go a little before, and then all but Hamlet exits. How all occasions do inform against me, and spur my dull revenge. What is a man, if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast, no more. Sure he that made us with such large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fuss in us unused. Now whether it be bestial oblivion or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, a thought which, quartered, hath but one part wisdom, and ever three parts coward. I do not know why yet I live to say this thing's to do. Sith I have cause, and will, and strength, and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me. Witness this army of such mass in charge, led by a delicate and tender prince, whose spirit with divine ambition puffed, makes mouths at the invisible exit, exposing at the invisible event. My two in the same video. My goodness, makes mouth at the invisible event, exposing what is mortal and unsure. I think because I was about to read this word exposing, and then I got the two mixed. Anyway, exposing what is mortal and unsure to all that fortune, death, and danger dare, even for an eggshell. Rightly to be great is not to stir without great argument, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honor's at the stake. How stand I, then, that have a father killed, a mother stained, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let it all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men, that for a fantasy and trick of fame go to their graves like beds, fight for a plot, whereon the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough in continent to hide the slain. Oh, from this time forth, my thoughts be bloody or be nothing worth. And he exits. So the synopsis here is that Fortinbras and his army cross Hamlet's path on their way to Poland, and Hamlet finds in Fortinbras' vigorous activity a model for himself in avenging his father's murder. Hamlet resolves upon bloody action. So, Hamlet taking some inspiration from what Fortinbras is doing and getting ready to go, getting ready to take it to his uncle eventually. He which was kind of a given, but now we kind of see you kind of see as we're getting towards the end of the play, of course, Act 5 is right around the corner, and of course we'll read that next week and conclude the play next week. But you see, as we get towards the end of the play, things kind of slowly start to come together, you know. So now we move into scene 5 here. Enter Horatio, Queen, and a gentleman. I will not speak with her. She is importunate, indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied. What would she have? She speaks much of her father, says she hears there's tricks in the world, and hems, and beats her heart, spurns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt, that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move the hearers to collection. They aim at it, and botch the words up fit to their own thoughts, I read that one already. Which, as her winks and nods and gestures yield them, indeed would make one think there might be thought, though nothing sure yet much unhappily. 'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds. And let her come in, and the gentleman exits. To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself in fearing to be split. And enter Ophelia distracted. Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark? How now, Ophelia? Now it says sings here, but I'm not actually going to sing. How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff, and his sandal shoon. Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song? Say you, nay, pray you, mark, he is dead and gone, lady, he is dead and gone. At his head a grass-green turf, at his heels a stone. Oh, ho, nay, but Ophelia, pray you, mark, white his shroud as the mountain snow. And then answered the king, alas, look here, my lord. Lard it all with sweet flowers, which be wept to the ground did not go with true love showers. How do you, pretty lady? Well, God dild you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table. conceit upon her father. Pray let's have no words of this, but when they ask you what it means, say you this: Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning time, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes, and dupped the chamber door, let in the maid, that out a maid never departed more. Pretty Ophelia. Indeed, without an oath, I'll make an end on it. By gifts and by Saint Charity, alack and fie for shame, young men will do it, if they come to it, by cock they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. He answers, so would I ha' done, by yonder sun, all that, and thou hast not come to my bed. How long hath she been thus? I hope all will be well. We must be patient, but I cannot choose but weep to think that you would lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night, good night. And she exits. Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. And Horatio exits. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs, all from her father's death. And now behold, O Gertrude, Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First, her father slain, next, your son gone, and he most violent author of his own just remove, the people muddied, he thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers. For good Polonius' death, and we have done but greenly, in hugger-mugger to inter him. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgments, without the which we are pictures or mere beasts. Last, and as much containing as all these, her brother is in secret come from France, feeds on his wonder, keeps himself in clouds, and wants not buzzards to infect his ear, with pestilent speeches of his father's death, wherein necessity of matter beggared, with nothing stick out person to arraign, an ear in ear. Oh, my dear Gertrude, this, like to a murdering place in many places, gives me superfluous death, and noise within. Alack, what noise is this? Attend! Where is my Switzers? Let them guard the door. Enter a messenger. What is the matter? Save yourself, my lord. The ocean, over-peering of his list, eats not the flats with more impious hate than young Laertes in a riotous head, o'erbears your officers. The rabble call him lord. And, as the world were now but to begin, antiquity forgot, custom not known, the ratifiers and props of every word. They cry, choose we, Laertes shall be king. Caps, hands, and tongues applied to the clouds. Laertes shall be king. Laertes king. And noise within. How cheerfully on the false trail they cry. Oh, this is counter, you false Danish dogs. The doors are broke. Enter Laertes with others. Where's the king? Sirs, stand you all without. No, let's come in. I pray you, give me leave. We will. I thank you. Keep the door. Oh, thou vile king. The followers exit. Oh, thou vile king, give me my father. Calmly, good Laertes. The drop of blood that's calm proclaims me bastard. Cries, cuckold, to my father. Brands the harlot, even here between the chaste unsmirched brow of my true mother. What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. There's such divinity doth hedge a king, that treason can but peep to what it would. Acts little of his will. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man. Where's my father? Dead, but not by him. Let him demand his fill. How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell, allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, concise in grace, to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation. To this point I stand, that both the worlds I give to negligence. Let come what comes only. Let come what comes. Only I'll be revenged, most early for my father. Who shall stay you? My will, not all the world. And for my means, I'll husband them so well, they shall go far with little. Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father, it is written your revenge, that, swoopstake, you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser, none but his enemies. Will you know them, then? To his good friends thus wide I'll ope my arms, and, like the kind life-rendering pelican, repass them with my blood. Why, now you speak. Let it, like a good child and a true gentleman, and them guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment pair here, as day does to your eye, and the noise within, let her come in. How now? What noise is that? And enter Ophelia. Oh, heat! Dry up my brains. Tears 7 times salt. Burn out the sense and virtue of mine eye. By heaven, thy madness shall be paid with weight, till our scale turn the beam. O Rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. O heavens, is it possible a young maid's wits should be as mortal as an old man's life? Nature is fine in love, and where 'tis fine, it sends some precious instance of itself after the thing it loves. They bore him barefaced on the bier. Hey, Nani, hey, Nani, and in his grave rained many a tear. Fare you well, my dove. Hast thou thy wits and didst persuade revenge? It could not move thus. Or that should be, hast thou thy wits and didst persuade revenge? It could not move thus. You must sing, a down, and you call him a down, a. Oh, how the wheel becomes it. It is the false steward that stole his master's daughter. This nothing more than matter. There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray you, love, remember, and there's pansies, that's for thoughts. A document in madness, the thoughts and remembrance fitted. There's fennel for you, and columbines. There's rue for you, and here's some for me. We may call it herb of grace o' Sundays. You must wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end. For bounty sweet Robin is all my joy. Thoughts and afflictions, passion, hell itself, she turns to favor and to prettiness. And he will not come again? And he will not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He never will come again. His beard was as white as snow. All flaxen was his poll. Oh, he is gone. He is gone. And we cast away moan. God have mercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls, I pray God. God be with you. Do you see? And she exits. Do you see this, O God? Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. If by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give, our crown, our life, and all that we call ours, to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we shall jointly labor with your soul to give it due content. Give it due content. Oh my goodness. Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no trophy, sword, nor hatchment o'er his bones, nor no noble rite, nor formal ostentation, cry to be heard, as 'twere from heaven to earth, that I must call it in question. So you shall, and where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me. And they exit. So the synopsis here is and quite a bit went down. I don't know, within the scene. The synopsis here is that reports reach Gertrude that Ophelia is mad. Ophelia enters singing about death and betrayal. After Ophelia has gone, Claudius agonizes over her madness and over the stir created by the return of an angry Laertes. And when Laertes breaks in on Claudius and Gertrude, Claudius asserts his innocence with regard to Polonius' death. The reappearance of the mad Ophelia is devastating to Laertes. Ophelia essentially driven to madness by her father's death, which I would say is, pretty understandable, pretty justified. She just lost her dad and probably not in the best headspace. And knowing who exactly did it, that being the guy she was kind of sort of interested in, and she thought was kind of sort of interested in him, Hamlet, being the one who did it. Although I don't think it's explicitly stated that she knows it was Hamlet, but I'm sure. But Laertes being upset over his father's death as well, being upset that his sister is been driven mad, and King Claudius said, hey, I didn't do it. But then why not tell him who did do it? That being Hamlet. Or why didn't anybody say anything about, hey, I didn't do it. Hamlet did it. But they don't say anything about that. They just try to calm him down, kind of like whoa, Laertes, chill. But they don't state who did it. Now would be a good time to tell them who did it. But nevertheless, as we move into scene 6 here, so Enter Horatio and others. What are they that would speak with me? Seafaring men, sir. They say they have letters for you. Let them come in. And the gentleman exits. I do not know from what part of the world I should be greeted, if not from Lord Hamlet. And then enter sailors. God bless you, sir. Let him bless thee too. He shall, sir, and it please him. There's a letter for you, sir. It came from the ambassador that was bound for England. If your name be Horatio, as I am let to know it is. And he hands Horatio a letter. Horatio, and this is Horatio reading the letter. Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give these fellows some means to the king. They have letters for him. Ere we were 2 days, let's see. Excuse me. A pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them. On the instant, they got clear of our ship, so I alone became the prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letters I have set, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldest fly death. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb. Yet are they much too light for the bore of the matter. These good fellows will bring thee where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that knoweth thine, Hamlet. Come. So now he's just speaking normally. He's not reading the letter, but come, I will give you way for these your letters, and do who it the speedier that you may direct me to him from whom you brought them. And they exit. So essentially, the synopsis here is that Horatio is given a letter from Hamlet telling of the prince's boarding of a pirate ship and his subsequent return to Denmark. So, Hamlet is it looks like captured for the time being. So reaching out to Horatio, and I imagine Horatio, going to bring the letters to the king and queen, and potentially go after Hamlet as well. So, now we wrap up Act 4 here with Scene 7. Enter King and Laertes. Now must your conscience in my acquittance sell, and you must put me in your heart for friend. Sith you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life. It well appears, but tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so criminal and so capital in nature, as by your safety, greatness, wisdom, all things else, you mainly were stirred up. For 2 special reasons, which made to you perhaps seem much unsinewed, but yet to me he there strong. The queen his mother lives almost by his looks, and for myself, my virtue of my plague, my virtue or my plague, be it either which, she is so conjunctive to my life and soul, that, as the star moves, who's not but in a sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive, why to a public count it might not go, is the great love the general gender bear him, who, dipping all his faults in their affection, irk like the spring that turneth wood to stone, convert his gyves to graces, so that my arrows, too slightly timbered for so loud a wind, would have reverted to my bow again, but not where I have aimed them. And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, whose worth, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on a mount of all the age, for her perfections, but my revenge will come. Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull, that we can let our beard be shook with danger, and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that, I hope, will teach you to imagine. And enter a messenger with letters. How now? What news? Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. These to your majesty. This to the queen. From Hamlet? Who brought them? Sailors, my lord. They say I saw them not. They were given me by Claudio. He received them of him that brought them. Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. And the messenger exits. And this is him reading now. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon, thereunto recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet. What should this mean? Are all the rest come back, or is it some abuse and no such thing? Know you the hand? 'Tis Hamlet, its character. Naked. And a postscript here, he says, alone. Can you advise me? I am lost in it, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart, that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, Thus didst thou. If it be so, Laertes, as how should it be so, how otherwise? Will you be ruled by me? Ay, my lord. So you will not rule me to a peace. To thine own peace, if he be now returned, as checking his voyage, and that he means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit, now ripen my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall, I should say. And for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice, and call it accident. My lord, I will be ruled, the rather if you could devise it so, that I might be the organ. It falls right. You have been talked of since your travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing, for equality, wherein they say you shine. Your sum of parts did not together pluck such envy from him, as did that one, and that, in my regard, of the unworthiest siege. What part is that, my lord? A very ribbon in the cap of youth, yet needful too, for youth no less becomes the light and careless livery that it wears, than settled age his sables and his weeds, importing health and greatness. 2 months since, here was a gentleman of Normandy. Here was a gentleman of Normandy. I have seen myself, and served against the French, and they can well on horseback, but this gallant had witchcraft in it. He grew up to his seat, and to such wondrous doing brought his horse, as he had been in corpse and demi-natured, with the brave beast. So far he topped my thought, that I in forgery of shapes and tricks come short of what he did. A Norman, was it? A Norman. Upon my life, Lammard, I should say, the very same. I know him well. He is the brooch indeed, and gem of all the nation. He made confession of you, and gave you such a masterly report, for art and exercise in your defense, and for your rapier most especial, that he cried out 'twould be a sight indeed, if one could match you, the scrimmers of the nation. He swore hath neither motion, guard, nor eye, if you oppose them. Sir, this report of his did Hamlet so envenom with his envy, that he could nothing do but wish and beg your son coming over to play with you. Now out of this. What out of this, my lord? Laertes, was your father dear to you, or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart? Why ask you this? Not that I think you did not love your father, but that I know love is begun by time, and that I see, in passages of proof, time qualifies the spark and fire of it. There lives within the very flame of love a kind of wick, I should say, or snuff that will abate it, and nothing is at a like goodness still. For goodness, growing to a pleurisy, dies in his own too much. That we should do when we would. For this wood changes, and hath abatements, and delays as many as there are tongues, or hands, or accidents, and then the should is like a spendthrift sigh, that hurts by easing, but to the quick of thy ulcer, but to the quick of the ulcer, Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake? To show yourself indeed your father's son, more than in words? To cut his throat in the church? No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. I think. I think that's how it's pronounced. No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. I'm just gonna turn my light on real quick. There we go. Hamlet, return, shall know you are come home. Will put on those shall praise your excellence, and set a double varnish on the flame the Frenchmen gave you, bring you, in fine, together, and wager on your heads. He, being remiss, most generous, and free from all contriving, will not pursue the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a passive patience, a passive practice, I should say, requite him for your father. I will do it, and for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I brought an unction of a mountain hank, so mortal that, but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood no cataplasm, so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue, under the moon, can save the thing from death, that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my points with this contagion, that, if I gall him slightly, it may be death. Let's further think of this. Weigh what convenience both of time and means may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift look through our bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore, this project should have a back or second that might hold. If this hid blast in proof, soft, let me see. We'll make a solemn wager on your cunnings. I hat. When in your motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end. And that he calls for a drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nuns, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. But stay, what noise? And enter the queen. One woe doth tread upon another's heel, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes. Drowned? Oh, where? There is a willow grown askant the brook, that shows his horror leaves in the glassy stream. Therewith fantastic garlands did she make, of crow flowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples, those that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs her coronet weeds, clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke, I should say, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid like a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old lauds, as one incapable of her own distress. Or I think it should be lauds, or it might be louds. But which time she chanted snatches of old loud, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretched from her melodious lay to muddy death. Alas, then she is drowned. Drowned, drowned. Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. But yet, it is our trick. Nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will. When these are gone, the woman will be out. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech, O fire, that fain would blaze, but that this folly drowns it. And he exits. Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow. And they exit. So, essentially the synopsis here is that Claudius gets a letter from Hamlet announcing the prince's return, and Claudius enlists Laertes' willing help in devising another plot against Hamlet's life, and Laertes agrees to kill Hamlet with a poisoned rapier in a fencing match, and if he fails, Claudius will give Hamlet a poisoned cup of wine, and Gertrude interrupts their plotting to announce that Ophelia has drowned. So Ophelia is now dead. I imagine, and drowning due to her madness and being distraught over her father's death. So Ophelia has drowned and died. But Claudius now essentially weaponizing Laertes' anger now against Hamlet in Hamlet's life. Pretty much to kill Hamlet. Hamlet saying he's coming back. I know I just went to England, but I'm on my way back already. Pretty much, I imagine to confront Claudius is once and for all. Also now devising a plan to kill Hamlet. So I imagine I may have misunderstood. Not Laertes might have known Hamlet was behind it, but thinking Claudius had something to do with it, which he kind of did, if you think about it. Like yes, Hamlet is the one who stabbed Polonius, but and again, if you remember from the previous act, why was Polonius there in the first place? But now, Hamlet, in his pursuit to take down his uncle for killing his father, now has made a new enemy in Laertes. What will happen? How will they come to blows? And will Hamlet fulfill his mission and finish his story? Where have I heard that recently? Anyway, find out that and more her next time as we conclude our reading of Hamlet with Scene 5. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as soon as it drops. And let me know in the comments your thoughts on, the reading of Hamlet here. Your thoughts on Act 4. And are you excited, not just with the play, and my analysis of it, but are you excited for the conclusion of it next week? But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.